Anyway, Kanye is cool.
Kanye is cool. I went to the strip club.
Two people cannot be at the same place at the same time. Yeah. I met John Cena.
And he decided to take off the disc from the Xbox. and then he literally broke it in front of my eyes.
And not just an undiscovered island, but undiscovered continent. And I got kinda addicted. Yeah, no, my grades like dropped. So weird sitting on this side of the couch.
I know, right? The same.
Welcome to the 5th episode of the Copilots podcast. What's up? How you doing today?
I am doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Nice.
Yeah. And how are you?
Thank you for watching. Have a good day.
Peace out.
So, what are we going to talk about today? We did some stuff.
Yeah.
We did some things.
Yeah, so last weekend we had this, I guess, student society thing with like 50 other aerospace engineering students.
Yeah.
It's called the DABACO, short for Design Battle Competition.
Yeah.
Which we didn't win. Tragic.
No,
you could have made us win.
No, I mean, yeah, I could have made you win.
Yeah, exactly.
But ultimately the winners won, you know? The game's a game.
Speaking of games, actually.
Too soon, too early. Yeah. But it was a thing called DABACO,
yeah.
the Design Battle Competition, which was an event happened last Saturday, about a week ago from now.
Yeah.
Actually, exactly a week ago from now.
Uninteresting.
And then we had this 50 people event where it was groups of 7. And each group was making and designing this task that they had to do. And whichever group did it the best won something.
Yeah. And you were in the organizing committee for that, right?
Yes, I was. I was in the 7 people that set up the whole thing for these 50, 60 other students.
Yeah.
Like himself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was like a whole day of fun outside in the summer.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend going.
And the theme we had was
Phineas and
Ferb, which this guy doesn't know.
I do
What a
now.
shame. Yeah, now he does, but such a shame. And we had to, essentially, we told them to do this task of making like a cart.
Yeah.
Which had to be steerable, breakable, and breaking as in
have a
stopping.
functional dynamo.
Yeah, and a functional dynamo.
Strictly speaking, it should be breakable also in the sense that you can break it apart because
Yeah.
Have you ever tried taking like a full-on car to like the fucking what is it even called? Like the place where you take garbage.
The garbage truck?
Not the garbage truck, but like the whole fucking
disposal.
The disposal. I guess it's the disposal. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut this piece out, by the way. I hope.
But you had to indeed break apart your design at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true. And one person had to sit on this cart.
Yeah.
That had to go around this racetrack to see who won.
It was super fast.
Yeah.
Super
yeah.
fast.
And yeah, we had like 7 different carts with like their own customizable paint.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like a pimp your ride kind of style as well.
Exactly. PYR, pimp your ride.
Pimp your ride.
Yeah. No, but it was a good day and like just a well-managed event.
Yeah. And then we managed to, the second task was to tell them to make some kind of catapult.
Yeah.
To kind of break the tower of Doofenshmirtz, which is a character from the show.
Yeah.
And I was that Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah.
Trying to sabotage everyone, and I was destroying all of their designs.
Strictly speaking, tower, that's a big word. It was one big bottle of ice, this wonderful alcoholic liquid.
Yeah, that's true. It was, it was meant to be bigger, but I think we just ran out of stuff.
Yeah, fair. I mean, knowing the people in the organizing committee, it makes sense that we ran out.
Actually, we had a really big budget for this event.
Yeah,
it was kind of insane. For me, like
Martin Garrix this time?
No, still not that
Still
big,
not.
unfortunately.
Gotcha.
That guy cost 300k.
Yeah, I know.
But we talked about it before. He fell off.
I know.
It's okay.
He fell off.
Well, yeah, this was a really fun event, and I think the ice cream was a nice addition.
Yeah, I think that was like the dot on the I. It was really good ice cream.
What was your favorite flavor? From that
I only tried mango, but it was really good. So like, yeah, no hate.
Being from the organization, I tried every flavor there was.
I know.
I finished the whole ice cream cart.
I know.
Yeah. And the tent, however, that was covering this truck, it wasn't so nice. It was barely functioning.
Yeah, I mean, structural engineers, am I right?
Yeah. But then that was what the update was about. That's what we did last week.
Yeah.
And it's been a while.
Yeah, exactly. It's been
a while.
like 2 weeks from the last episode, I
Yeah,
think. So
yeah.
Yeah, just so that you guys know what we've been up to.
Yeah. It's been a good 2 weeks, and that was kind of a brief update to get into the topic of today's discussion.
Yeah.
Which are
dreams.
Dreaming.
Yeah.
And especially lucid dreams.
Yeah, and sleep dreaming, just for the reference. So
Yeah.
not going to be talking about our aspirations again. Don't have that many, actually.
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting topic for dreams and lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Because it's so cool, you know? Like, dreaming is quite cool. Because you can just kind of experience a part of your life that, you know, you couldn't do in reality.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a fun, imaginative, thing that you can do. It's almost like a game.
Yeah, it's like dreaming is an autopilot,
Yeah.
and lucid dreaming is just the pilot.
Yeah, so...
And we are the co-pilots.
Welcome to the show. Anyway, Kanye is cool.
Kanye is cool.
Yeah. I met John Cena in the dream. But can you give a definition of what a lucid dream really is? Topias, the third.
I think a lucid dream is essentially just a dream in which you have a sense of control over things that you regularly wouldn't be able to control.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, first of all, you yourself in the dream, you're able to sort of do super normal, paranormal things, I guess.
Yeah.
So that like the regular laws of physics and human nature, they don't really bound you.
Yeah.
And then also you can sort of exert control over the other people, or not even necessarily people, other things in your dream.
Yeah, indeed.
And I think, yeah, that constitutes a lucid dream rather well.
Yeah, and I've had only 2 lucid dreams in my life.
Yeah.
How many have you had?
I'm not sure if I've ever had a
0.
lucid dream.
A staggering 0.
Staggering 0.
Maybe you'll get there eventually, you know?
Maybe.
Once you get as enlightened as me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's gonna be a long way away.
Yeah, maybe 30 years from now.
Yeah.
But I've had 2, and my first one was quite a short one.
Mm.
My second one was this big one, which I want to talk more about.
Yeah.
And this first dream was about me driving a motorbike in this New York-like city,
Mm-hmm.
which is very, and I realized in the dream that this is a dream. And that was the first time I realized that in a dream.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew I was sort of, okay, I'm in control. And I could really even control the motorcycle and steering and stuff.
Exactly.
Which is funny because I was like 14, I didn't even have a license. But I was driving in this city, and eventually this road was the same road I was driving on, but the environment kind of morphed from New York to like Hilversum, which is the city I was living in at the time in the Netherlands. And it's the city also he went to for high school.
Yeah.
And slowly this road was getting closer and closer to my home in Hilversum, and which is where I was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, as I got too close, the dream ended. And I thought to myself, I got too close to reality.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole concept of 2 people cannot be at the same place at the same time really started to shine there.
Modern physics, huh?
Yeah, really modern physics.
Yeah.
And then, when I got too close, it ended. And that was when I was like, that was something different.
Yeah.
That was something I never experienced before.
Yeah.
And I expected maybe this would happen again.
Yeah, I think like something I must add to the definition of lucid dreaming is like all of the things I mentioned before, but also like knowing and acknowledging during the dream that you're dreaming. That's like a really crucial part there.
Exactly. And once I knew that I was expecting this to happen again, which it did, and in even a bigger and grander fashion.
Yeah.
Where the second dream, it was kind of like I have this journal actually where I write down some of my dreams, and especially these lucid dreams, and I write it down in these notes just so it's like I have a journal of what my head's been at.
Yeah.
And I wrote this one down, and I called it the 4th dimension. And this dream, I was situated in this ship, this large, like massive ship in the middle of the ocean.
Titanic size.
Yeah. And there's like 12 other ships.
Yeah.
And the crew I'm with my family, and the weird thing was my crew. And I was in this ship, and I could see like in first person, like I could see you, I could see this, I could see that, and all of a sudden I could also get like a bird's eye view of the ship.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
I was like,
that's cool.
oh, okay. And I suddenly realized I could kind of choose where to go. Like it was almost like a game, like a third person GTA ship, and I could control where all of us could go.
Yeah.
And it felt like a human exploration on a different world even. Like I wasn't sure if it was Earth or if that was even water we were on.
Yeah.
And it was really like surreal, even though it looked normal. And as soon as I realized I was in control, you know, we were going and eventually this environment again. There's a big thing about the environment morphing into something actually, because this environment, the ocean, was morphing into this narrow canal.
Yeah.
And the rest started to become land.
Yeah, yeah, very Dutch then.
Yeah, very Dutch. It was like an Amsterdam canal. But
Yeah,
just
exactly.
without the bikes.
Right, right.
And then we started to go into this, and this land was like an island, and which we soon, some people started saying on the crew, this is not just an undiscovered island, but an undiscovered continent. And that was when it started getting cooler.
Yeah.
And I realized, you know, like I ensured, I even think the ship was starting to dock or something.
Yeah.
But I made it fly somehow. With propellers.
True aerospace engineer
Yeah,
makes
so
the ship fly.
Exactly, so it could land properly on the beach or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, we had these really cool futuristic four-wheelers.
Yeah.
And I do think some of this was inspired from like the sci-fi films I was watching at the time.
Yeah.
Which I'm a really big fan of, and my brain was like, you know, sci-fi mode activated. And this with these four-wheelers with my crew.
Yeah, exactly.
My crew is long and it gets even longer. We were in this car, and then we drove towards inland, and then we reached the city. And the city was insane. Like
Yeah.
it was a futuristic city.
Yeah.
Skyscrapers and highways everywhere, cars everywhere,
Yeah.
but not a single soul.
It felt like York, but it was nude. It was like New York City.
But way bigger and way more highways.
Yeah, okay.
I just saw highways going.
A lot of highways.
There was a lot of highways.
Highways.
And this was almost like a dystopian world, which didn't even look like Earth at some point.
Yeah.
There was a dystopian world where there was no humans and stuff.
Yeah, but still kind of like New York, you said.
Kinda, but with more highways.
Yeah.
Way more highways.
Yeah, that's the perfect world for you, huh?
But did you have any dystopian dreams like this?
Well, now that you asked, Mr. Confess, I have to confess that I may have had some dystopian dreams as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so oftentimes what ends up happening when I'm traveling with my family is like I'm really looking forward to the trip, and like I know what it's supposed to look like. I've seen some photos online, and then like a couple of days before the trip, I'm there, but in a dream, and it's always empty, as in like there's no people, no cars, no bikes whatsoever. So it really is like a sort of dystopian sense of reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't think I've had like that sort of lucid dream feel in the sense that I'd have control and sort of acknowledgement of the fact that it's a dream that I'm controlling instead of reality.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then another, I guess, sort of interesting type of dream that I have rather often is this type where I have like, say, events and people from my current daily life, like just coming to my dreams, I guess. And it's super confusing when there are people mixing that aren't supposed to know each other in the first place.
Yeah.
So I can have like a high school friend and a university friend that in theory don't know each other at all.
Yeah.
But then in the dream they're talking to each other as if they were best friends.
Yeah.
And that's like a logic error that my brain detects, and then I wake up.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it's not like my brain wakes me up every time I have something sort of illogical happen. It's certain things like that. So like if there's like a social aspect that doesn't make sense, maybe it activates some primal response in my brain, and then I'm like, oh shit, I gotta wake up.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm like breaking the laws of physics in a dream, which happens quite often, like then no problem, it doesn't wake me up.
Wake you up.
Yeah.
But indeed, like I have the exact same thing. I know what you mean exactly with, you know, people that aren't supposed to know each other in the dream know each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's just our brain just kind of trying to link everything it knows, like all the information bits it knows.
Exactly.
Even though in reality, those information don't know each other.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
I think there's actually a really interesting sort of analogy to this, which is this scientific phenomenon called confabulation. So essentially when somebody has like Alzheimer's, the thing is they don't have like sort of, how should I put it? Like uncorrupted memories, but they have some memories from their past, and then they're trying to sort of build this network of like supporting memories and stories, even though they might not be actually like adherent to the reality and the actual story. But like I guess there's some sort of a human need to like have at least some sort of an explanation for like
For everything.
for your stories, for your memories, for everything really. And that's why like you end up coming up with things, and I guess dreams are sort of a way to do that as well. But at least we are lucky in the sense that most likely we don't have Alzheimer's, at least just yet.
Not yet.
And like for us, exactly. Time is ticking.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I know which the thing about like we sometimes make up things in our brain.
Yeah.
But sometimes our brains cannot do that. In this dream, I think another thought I had was in this dystopian, new world or new Earth or new planet even, this city, I couldn't imagine the creatures that live here.
Yeah.
And that could be because I wasn't sure if this is even Earth.
Exactly.
And if it is another planet, I was expecting aliens. But maybe because my brain doesn't even know what aliens look like, it cannot come up with a picture of them.
Yeah.
So maybe they were there, I just couldn't visualize them.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar to, when you have the dreams where you're falling.
Yeah, you don't know what's actually gonna happen.
After death, you don't know what happens. So
Yeah.
your dream ends just like that.
Hot agnostic take, I like it.
Yeah. And then you don't know what to even think of. Your brain has to stop right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like an error. It's like error cannot continue.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool. But sometimes your brain is able to kind of come up with something.
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
it's not able to come up with something.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like a weird line to see what it can or cannot do.
Yeah.
And there's this thing I read about, which is basically saying that whatever you dream of, it has to be possible. That's why your brain sort of imagines it. Or like it has to be thinkable.
Yeah, thinkable for sure.
Thinkable.
Yeah.
Like at least in the sense that
comprehensible. I guess.
Comprehensible to some extent. It's very interesting because I mean, there's dreams where I've been flying around, and of course it's not true, it's not possible, but maybe in another universe it is.
Yeah.
And,
in a way, dreams are a lot like a game, in which you have some sort of limitations, like constraints that are imposed on you by like the rules of the game. But like obviously we've all probably played something online on an Xbox, PlayStation.
Yeah.
DS.
Speaking about games.
Yeah.
What do you think of GTA 5, Topias? And how long have you thought about GTA 5?
Yeah, so GTA 5 is an excellent first person, not
game.
Just a shooter game, mainly not a shooter game, but yeah.
Open world.
Yeah, open world,
Yeah.
exactly. No, I'd want to say that I'm a big fan of the game. The thing is, I haven't had that much time to actually play it, even though it's been out for like, 7-8 years by now? Like
10 years.
Yeah, pretty much a
10
decade.
years,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it's... Seriously, when is GTA 6 coming out though?
I don't know.
It's been next year for the past 4 years. Like,
Some
point
not soon. Maybe
Yeah.
another 5 years.
Yeah.
But this is interesting because I know a little story that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Because indeed, like you did play GTA, but for like a very short amount of period, like maybe less than even a week or so.
Yeah, I think I can maybe set the scene. So it was the August of 2017, around my 15th birthday. I was living in England and I had an Xbox One, and this was like my prime gaming phase. Like I was never too big of a gamer. Like I'd play something here and there, but like it wasn't my identity. It never has been, and
How old were you?
Never will be. 15.
Okay.
And my parents got me one of my most highly requested games, GTA 5, as a birthday present, which was phenomenal. Good parenting, by the way. And so that was the 12th of August 2017.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, exactly. And I was really into it. Like the second I got it, I started playing, and I was playing like 30 hours a day, 40 hours a day. No, but a lot in the next couple of days.
Yes.
But then, at the same time, I was maybe going through some sort of teenage rebellious phase, and my parents, especially my dad, they weren't very appreciative of that, and that meant that at one point my dad had sort of had enough. I was sitting on the couch in the living room. He was like sitting right beside me,
and what were you doing in the game? Just for context.
I went to the strip club in the game, and I guess I'd been like a dick to my dad earlier that day, so like that combined, it was kind of like pushing the limit with him. And he decided to take off the disc from the Xbox, and he literally broke it in front of my eyes. And what you have to remember is, this is literally 2 days after I got the game. This was the 14th of August, my birthday is the 12th. And never have I ever played GTA 5 or any other GTA ever since.
What was your first game on the Xbox?
No. I think I had like FIFA and Far Cry before that. Yeah, good games as well, but like GTA, it was the most fun, obviously.
Yeah. It's so sad you only got to play it for 2 days. One of the best games ever made.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, like for the record, by the way, my dad's like a very chill, nonchalant guy. Like he's not violent or like aggressive in that sense, but yeah, I guess he just had enough at that point.
But it makes for a funny story.
Yeah, oh, for sure. It was hilarious. I didn't think it was hilarious back then.
No.
Like I think the best thing that I could come up with there on the spot was like, you know, you paid for that, right?
It was 60 euros.
I had a point. Yeah, I mean it was like 50 quid back in England.
That's true.
Back in England with the homies.
Was this the last game that you ever bought or like played, kinda? Like,
I don't think so.
Did the gaming stop after this?
No, not instantly. Like I still had some car games. I think I got maybe what's the name of the game? Forza Horizon 3, 4, like maybe half a year after or something like that. But it certainly dialed down my enthusiasm for the world of gaming.
Yeah, from 30 hours a day to maybe like 35 hours. No, like
a week. Yeah, no. Yeah, but I'd say like then I moved to NL at the age of 16, and yeah, I don't even think I plugged in my Xbox in this country.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's so you've been. How long has it been? Like 5 years?
Yeah, Xbox less for almost 5 years. Yeah.
And you haven't even turned it on.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Why? Was it really that shattering?
No. Like as I said, like I still played games for like maybe one more year after the incident. but I don't know. Like I never really felt the urge anymore.
Yeah.
And like you know, I have nothing against gaming or gamers, but it's not like the best use of one's time. Like you'd be far better off like doing something educational or doing sports, just hanging out with friends. Honestly, I think like socializing is definitely like a better way to spend time than gaming.
I bet the guy who was playing 30 hours a day didn't think so.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Guy. He died together with a disc.
Nice. But yeah, it is kind of interesting because I thought the idea that like, because when you came to the Netherlands, you never even mentioned it as a game at all.
Yeah.
I guess like you never even really mentioned you used to play any games.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that you played these other games before today, actually.
Yeah.
Forza and stuff like this.
Yeah, no,
but
I did.
Yeah, I had a similar like peak moment of gaming in my 14, 15-year-old.
It's always that like early teenage years.
Yeah, I was in 8th grade, I remember.
Yeah.
And you know the funny thing was, and for 6 months, my dad wasn't in the country. He was in India.
Yeah.
And I was only with my mom, and my mom wouldn't be there the whole day pretty much. So it's kind of like most of the day by myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And what do you do when you're 8th grader with a PS4? GTA 5.
Exactly.
I played a lot of GTA, and I got kind of addicted. Basically, like your 2-day streak. I had that dial for like a few months.
Respect. Grind knows grind.
Yeah, no, my grades like dropped.
Yeah, no, I know the feeling. Like I feel like during I think it was 10th grade for me, like in England, like I wasn't playing GTA 5 at the time, but some car game like Forza or something like that. And I was just really into it. So like, my grades took a hit as well.
Yeah, because you're like, why do I have to worry about this when I can just hit the dopamine effect?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just playing.
It's an easy escape.
Yes.
That's why it's so dangerous, but also why it's so much fun.
Yeah. And after that, like I realized, okay, it's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Then I kind of took a step back, and also for like last 3 years in uni, I haven't really been.
Yeah, no, neither.
But I have turned it on, and like in the summer when I have time.
Yeah, obviously.
That's cool. I just go to it when I just wanna do something like. You know, I'm usually interested in just driving the vehicles around.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun, like especially flying the aircrafts, flying the helicopters.
Would you say GTA 5 is still your like go-to game?
Yeah. I mean, I have other games, like I played like Call of Duty,
Yeah.
Black Ops 3, it was one of the ones that I played with some friends.
Yeah.
Then I had the demo versions of all the FIFAs.
Yeah.
But I never, because I was like, this is enough to play.
Okay, what do you think of people that get the new FIFA each and every year? I know, right?
It's the same thing as getting the new iPhone every time.
Exactly.
Like,
thank you.
Like, if you have that money to waste, sure. But what are you really doing? Like,
if you're a parent
what are
watching
you even
this,
paying for?
we're on your side. Like, don't get your kid, probably a boy, a new FIFA every year. Like, every other year tops.
I would
Max.
still say it's rough. Like,
no, like
it's
the
one
same
FIFA is
fucking
fine,
game.
man. It's the same. What are you paying for? GTA 5, get them that.
Oh
That's
my
the
god,
thing.
Messi's in a different team this year. Ooh.
No, I mean it's not even that.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly. He changes
better,
the game,
slightly
just
better
software update.
graphics.
Yeah,
or
exactly,
like
exactly.
slightly better playable characters or
Yeah.
something. It's not it. It's not it.
Facts.
And yeah, I mean after the gaming, it kind of went down. Not really because I didn't like it so much. I just also didn't have time for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was just doing all these other things that were either more of interest to me or more valuable.
Yeah.
And they were just gaming was just sort of I didn't need that escape per se.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like even nowadays, if I'm sort of, I don't know, like looking for an escape to like not think about my duties for a bit, like
Yeah.
I'd much rather watch something educational and interesting on YouTube. It can really be about anything, but like, you know, there are so many great channels on YouTube nowadays, like the Copilots,
The Love Island.
yeah, no, but like I'm serious. Like there are so many like channels that tell you about like history, geography, economics, science, culture. It doesn't have to be all academic. Like it's still nice to take a break every now and then.
Yeah, and you can also just go outside and
Yeah.
do something there, like just go on a walk. or
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Go on a hike.
Yeah,
you
do
know,
some.
Just do something.
Yeah,
And
lumber
that's
work.
cool. Yeah, and yeah, but it's
Poaching.
interesting that your dad was like that
Poaching.
mad to break your game.
Yeah, I think it's a generational divide.
yeah. It's interesting because I don't know if they had any games to play with our parents.
I think they did, but like what they actually did, at least in like the Western world, would be they'd go to an arcade, like a specific gaming center that each town had, and then they'd put in some coins into these sort of slot machines for children, and then they just play them, and that would count as entertainment by their standards.
Yeah, that's true. I mean they had these board games for as well.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think I don't know if they were as addicting. I don't think they were as addicting.
Oh, definitely not.
No,
Definitely not.
because it's usually involved other people and I mean okay.
And like usually they're slow paced as well, so it's not like you get the dopamine rush like that.
Yeah, it's actually my parents were talking to me about this. They were saying like back in our day it was the best kind of period to study or like the best period to kind of like look at something because they were saying even they get distracted with the amount of Reels, Facebook, TikTok, and all this stuff.
Yeah,
that's just like instant gratification. Look at this. Look at this. Look at
exactly,
this. Look at this.
And our attention spans also they've gotten so much shorter than what they were like just a couple of decades ago.
That's true.
Even 1 decade ago. Like hell, we didn't have TikTok back then.
No,
we didn't have Instagram Reels in 2012, 2013.
We had Vine and stuff.
And
it was kind of getting there. It was getting there. But it got to the point where I think like they also realized how much of a difference our lives and their lives were.
Yeah.
And my parents were asking me like, how like do you manage to study good, kind of, because you have so many distractions now, and it really is like living in the 2023 is like a game about choosing how much and what you want to get distracted by.
Exactly.
It's like a pick and choose of what you want to get distracted by.
Like time allocation is critical. Like I think it's totally fine to like get distracted by things, but like you have to allocate time for that.
Yeah.
Like you know, if you think and you say that you're going to be studying from 1 to 4, then you have to sort of acknowledge like in order for me to actually study and learn and internalize the content, like I can't be on my phone. Like I definitely can't be on Instagram, like even for a couple of minutes. Like obviously you can take breaks, but like just acknowledge that doesn't count as actual study time.
Yeah, of course, that's true. But it's interesting. I mean, the generation differences and where we can eventually find common ground and where the differences are.
Yeah, and I think like as we get more mature in the next couple of decades, like we're gonna be able to see eye to eye with our parents and just their generation as a whole a lot better than we do right now.
Yeah, and one of the things that I also read about with this parent-child relationship is when you're younger as a child, it's more like a parent-child relationship because you're kind of learning from your parent, like how to act, how to do this, how to eat, how to do work. And after a certain age, you kind of become also like an adult.
Exactly.
And it becomes more like an adult-to-adult relationship.
Exactly.
Than like a parent-to-child.
Do you feel like your parents treat you as an adult nowadays?
I think it's shifting more. It's still in like the process because it's also like they're trying to understand that okay, this is not also like the same child as 10 years ago.
Exactly.
But it's also not like okay, he's a full-fledged adult because you know. I think in their eyes, a full-fledged adult is like someone who has a job, someone who has a house, someone who's set.
Yeah, exactly.
And until I'm that, I don't think it will be viewed that way.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I'd say mostly that as well. Like, I'd say like maybe my parents, they treat me a bit more as an adult than yours based on the description that you just gave. But like, also it helps that I'm not living with them currently.
Yeah.
So like. Yeah, we see each other maybe like every 2 weeks or so, and yeah, like they're pretty much fine with all of the rational decisions I decide to make, and yeah, it's nice. Like we have a very sort of functioning relationship with my parents. Like obviously there's still the acknowledgement that like you guys know a shit ton more about life than I do.
Yeah. But
it's still like already like adult to adults and like mutual respect and just like. Yeah, it's less preachy.
Like, yeah. I mean, for us, the real life is gonna start soon, and on the other hand, this episode's gonna end soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we wrap it up?
I think so.
We talked about live updates, talked about gaming, before that some dreaming, and a bit of generation divide. And thank you for watching this episode. It has been
the Copilots.
Signing out. Yeah, when you lost the bet, you got spanked.
Oh yeah, that was so good. That was so good. Man, I should lose more bets.